life goes wrong. Hailey Bieber kicked things off at the Met Gala wearing a black Saint Laurent blazer dress. On any other night, it would have been chic and effortless. But this was the Met, the most theatrical fashion event of the year. Instead of making a statement, the look blended into the background. It didn't reflect the theme's celebration of black dandyism or bold tailoring. For a night built on excess and imagination, Hailey's outfit felt more like dinner in Soho than fashion's Super Bowl. Taylor Swift delivered a similar letdown at the Grammys. Her red, sparkly Vivienne Westwood mini dress looked festive, sure, but more holiday cocktail party than music industry crown jewel. Fans couldn't believe a Westwood design somehow ended up feeling generic, and many joked that it looked closer to prom wear than couture. Zoe Saldana also struggled to find her fashion footing this year. At the Cannes premiere of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, she opted for a sleek black Saint Laurent gown. While elegant, it lacked impact, especially for a high-profile film debut. The addition of a leather jacket draped over her arms made the look feel unfinished and oddly casual. Earlier in the year, Zoe's Oscars appearance drew even harsher criticism. A burgundy, tiered Saint Laurent gown overwhelmed her petite frame. The heavy layers swallowed her silhouette, and the proportions felt off. For a night celebrating her career moment, the dress simply didn't rise to the occasion. Too much of everything. On the opposite end of the spectrum were celebrities who went all in, and then some. Shakira arrived at the Met Gala in an enormous bubblegum pink tulle gown that looked like it required its own engineering team. The volume was extreme, the layers endless, and the overall effect felt more early 2000s fairy tale than modern couture. Melissa McCarthy brought bold color to the Golden Globes in a hot pink Christian Siriano jumpsuit, but the excess fabric overwhelmed her frame. Instead of empowering, it looked bulky and shapeless. Jamie Lee Curtis nearly vanished at the SAG Awards beneath a massive feathered bolero that swallowed her entire look. Rather than elevating the outfit, it dominated it. Kim Kardashian's Met Gala look also turned heads, but not for the right reasons. Her sculpted leather ensemble came with a dramatic hat and a rigid train so restrictive that she could barely walk. Online jokes quickly followed, with many saying the dress seemed to move on its own while Kim struggled to keep up. Despite earning praise for her acting, Parker Posey didn't escape fashion criticism. Her lilac Valentino gown featured overwhelming tears that both aged her and erased her shape. Heidi Klum also made waves at Cannes, and not in a good way. Her enormous pink floral gown broke festival guidelines with its oversized train, which dragged so far behind her, it became a logistical problem. Later, Heidi sparked discomfort when she appeared alongside her 21-year-old daughter in coordinated lingerie-style outfits. The sheer fabrics, corset details, and exposed layers felt inappropriate to many viewers, especially given the mother-daughter pairing. Even fashion royalty isn't immune. Even Rihanna, long considered nearly untouchable in fashion, had a rough year. At the Los Angeles premiere of The Smurfs, her blue lingerie-inspired gown featured clashing elements that never came together. Her Gotham Awards look, a sculpted pink dress paired with a feathered hat and black gloves, confused fans and critics alike. Many called it one of her most puzzling fashion missteps to date. Ariana Grande also faced criticism at the Oscars. Wearing a custom Schiaparelli design, the voluminous, sparkly creation completely overwhelmed her petite frame. Instead of looking regal, fans compared the look to a frosted cupcake. Monica Barbaro continued the trend in a pale pink Dior gown with mismatched proportions. The oversized skirt and undersized bodice created an awkward imbalance that ruined the princess fantasy it was clearly aiming for. Billie Eilish, known for oversized fashion, pushed things too far at the Grammys. Multiple layers, heavy accessories, and clashing proportions turned her outfit into visual overload, like a magic trick that never ended. Barely there and boundary pushing. Then came the looks that barely qualified as outfits. Bianca Censori made headlines after revealing a nearly transparent, skin-tight mini dress beneath a fur coat. With no visible undergarments, the shock factor overshadowed everything else. What was meant to be bold instead felt uncomfortable, and critics widely labeled it the worst look of the year. Julia Fox also leaned heavily into shock fashion throughout 2025. At the Vanity Fair Oscar party, she wore a completely sheer dress covered only by long hair extensions, styled to resemble the birth of Venus. While creative, many felt it crossed the line from fashion into performance art, and not in a good way. When nothing matches. Some outfits failed simply because the pieces didn't belong together. Katie Holmes appeared at the Tony Awards in a shapeless green top paired with a pink sequined skirt, two garments that clashed relentlessly. Her body language in photos suggested she knew it wasn't working. Sarah Snook's Tony Awards gown featured heavy textures, long sleeves, and a high neckline that felt more winter formal than summer red carpet. The muted color drained her complexion, though she did walk away with an award, just not a fashion win. Halle Berry's last-minute replacement outfit at Cannes also disappointed. Forced to ditch her original gown due to train restrictions, the backup black and white striped dress hung awkwardly, doing her no favors. Charli XCX missed the mark at the Grammys with a dusty blue dress paired with odd thigh-high boot stockings. The look appeared unfinished, like she left before the styling session was complete. Lainey Wilson leaned too hard into her signature cowgirl aesthetic. By the Emmys, her white flowy top, embellished pants, and cowboy hat felt repetitive. Less personal style, more self-parody. Repeated offenders. Gwendolyn Christie had multiple missteps, including a BAFTAS gown by Giles Deacon that critics compared to a shredded tire. Chaotic cutouts and messy extensions ruined what could have been a striking moment. Naomi Watts landed on worst-dressed lists with a Venice Film Festival gown featuring an oversized black bow that threw off the entire look. Chloe Sevigny delivered a full trilogy of confusion, from a green Gotham Awards mini dress dubbed Vegetable Couture to a frilly pink VSFS look that felt juvenile, to a lace and tutu hybrid in Venice that bordered on absurd. Menswear misfires. The men weren't spared either. Jaden Smith's castle-shaped headpiece at the Grammys looked more school play than avant-garde fashion. Alexander Skarsgård baffled Cannes attendees by tucking tuxedo pants into thigh-high boots, creating a pirate groom aesthetic he later explained was inspired by his final thoughts. At least one thing is certain. 2025 wasn't boring. Celebrities took risks, massive ones, even when those risks failed spectacularly. And sometimes the worst-dressed list is the most entertaining part of award season. Now we want to hear from you. Which fashion fail from 2025 lives rent-free in your mind? And who truly deserves the crown for worst look of the year? Drop your pics in the comments.